everyone, it is me. I am back with another video, and today I'm on a spinny chair. Today's video, I'm so excited. I am so excited because today's video is actually a collaboration with a friend of mine over on Instagram, TITUS Entertainment. We've been talking back and forth for a little while now, and I absolutely love her vibe. So when she suggested that we do a collaboration video, I was like, yes, 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 100% yes. I'm so excited because I've had this idea for a collaboration video for so long and no one wanted to do it with me. So the idea, we each create a mood board of 13 photos for each other, and we have to send it to the other person and they then have to make a character out of it. So it's gonna be a complete surprise for both of us. I'll show you the mood board that I created for her. So this is the mood board that I created, and now we're gonna hop on a video chat and we're going to exchange mood boards, and I'm gonna see what she's created for me and get her reaction to the mood board that I created for her. So without further ado, let's get into it.
Dude, I am like so stoked to even be doing this. I have like butterflies and it's like topsy-turvy. It's like, ooh, look what you're doing. Alright, since yours is a link and you're sending me a link, go ahead and send the link. I'll go ahead and send you mine, and then we'll open it on the count of like 3.
I'm hoping that it works. It's not sending. What is going on?
Alright, I'm gonna send you mine. No peekies. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
I can't even unlock my phone. Oh my god, it's so pretty. What the heck? I love this.
Oh, wow. Dude, you are like up my alley, bro.
I was kind of scared because I was like looking through your art and I'm like, you don't usually draw stuff like this, but I feel like it would look really good in your style. So I was like kind of scared that you'd be like, ew, I hate this.
Fun story. I used to like draw stuff similar to this back
wow.
10 years ago. I am like, whoa, I'm excited about this mood board.
I'm excited about this one too. I'm just like, I love all
really
the
like
colors.
that makeup look.
And that was like the one that started the Pinterest board. I was like,
I really like that. Oh, I'm so excited. I already have so many ideas. Dude, I can't wait.
Me neither, to be honest. I've been on a binge of drawing my freak show characters, and this is giving me like that old-timey vibe that I'm really into drawing right now. So I'm like, yes, yes, I'm so pumped.
I had my little sister help me a little bit because I was trying to find an aesthetic for you. So I'm like, your vibe gives off like circusy.
I think you have executed it perfectly.
I've never done a mood board before. This is my first time. I'm so happy this came out right.
This is freaking gorgeous for the first time making a mood board. Like, it looks like you've made dozens of these.
Oh, hot dog, I'm excited. Okay, Plutos, I am in love with this, and this might actually add something new to my style.
Oh, hell yeah. I'm so excited.
You stay fabulous. See you in like 3 days.
See ya.
Stay fabulous.
Stay fabulous. So I think now that I'm happy with the actual character design, I'm going to scan it, I'm going to turn it digital, and we're going to experiment with some colors. So I'm not gonna lie, the first color palette that I went with, I was not a fan. I was very worried at this point. In my head, it was going to look really good, and then the moment I put it down, I was like, oh, this is not the vibe that I'm after here. The thought process was that I was going to use a warm reddish color palette like the one that I was given in the mood board, but it just didn't end up looking good on him, and I wanted a much more corpse-like vibe for Dandy. After all, he is this 2,000-year-old vampire, and for Dandy, I really wasn't going for that pretty boy vibe that you see in all the vampire movies. I wanted him to lean more towards Nosferatu. Hence the pointy ears, the bright yellow eyes, and the purple corpse-like complexion. So in the end, I'm really glad that I did it digitally because it gave me the freedom to just hide the layer that the original color palette was on and start again. And after the second attempt, I was really happy with it. So I ended up just using the rest of the page as practice, and I figured that I could just bring the color palette from the mood board through to his clothing and the background of the final illustration. The first part of the character design process for me is pretty straightforward at this point. 9 times out of 10, I have been daydreaming about a new character for weeks or even months before I even put pen to paper, and this was no different. Ever since I saw that mood board and the little dandy seed, the dandelion seed, was planted in my brain, I have been thinking about this character non-stop. But now it's time for the fun part. It's all well and good for me to spend an hour or two in my sketchbook sketching out a character design, but I feel like I don't really get a feel for a character unless I draw them in their environment. Whether it's them enjoying one of their hobbies, sitting with their friends, going to a place that they enjoy, or in Dandy's case, chilling in his house. When I first got this mood board, I was instantly drawn to the old-timey vibe, but as I looked closer, I was kind of thrown by the little hints of modern technology that have been put in there, which is how I came to the conclusion of vampire. I think when you're a 2,000-year-old vampire, you've had many years to collect things, to go through different phases, different hobbies, and I feel like that's exactly what Dandy would do. So with that in mind, I decided to pack as much detail as humanly possible into this artwork, just to show off his personality and how it's changed over the years. And the longer I spent on this drawing, the more details I started adding, and this line art, I kid you not, literally took weeks. So to tell you a little bit about Dandy, he is a trans mask vampire who loves Victorian fashion. I'm sure he had a punk phase back in the 70s, and despite all of his years on this earth, he is still a very nervous, very introverted individual. The only time he ever really leaves the house is to go down to the local butcher and get blood, because he's really not about drinking human blood. Honestly, if Dandy could be a vegan, he would 100% do it, but unfortunately, human food just doesn't work for him. So he's decided that the most ethical thing he can do as a vampire is to support local businesses, the local butcher shop, and take all the leftover animal blood off his hands. And you're probably thinking, don't the people at the butcher shop find that strange? Well, no, because one character leads to another, and I've been developing a significant other. I'm thinking that the butcher shop is owned by werewolves, and Dandy can fall in love with one of them. Just a thought. This is what happens every time I make a new character. I just spiral down a rabbit hole that involves making more characters. At this point in time, Dandy is kind of pulling a concerned ape. He's got nothing but time on his hands, he's got a computer, and he's decided that he's gonna code his own video game, even if it takes him 1,000 years. Dandy absolutely loves video games, and I think Stardew Valley would 100% be his favorite. Not just because it's my favorite, but I also gave him a little Pikmin plushie because I want one. They're adorable. He's also got his sword and shield from The Legend of Zelda, and his Nintendo Switch just sitting there, ready to go whenever he needs it. Poor old Dandy faces a lot of issues as a vampire. His fangs are way too big for his mouth. It makes him talk with a lisp, and he gets a little bit self-conscious about it. He also doesn't have a reflection, which makes getting ready to go face the world very difficult. He has to cover up all of his vampiric attributes, and that's quite the challenge when you can't see yourself in the mirror. He does his best. He watches makeup tutorials online so that he can make himself look a little bit more lively. He wears gigantic hats to keep the sun off and tuck his ears away, and he likes to get fancy with it. Since he's drawn to Victorian fashion, he really likes wearing long dresses and lots of layers and little boots. I guess that's a positive of being a vampire. He's so cold all the time that he can wear as many layers as he likes. Dandy is also autistic, so I'm not sure if this is part of being a vampire or just part of his ASD. He's very sensitive to sound and light, and this can overwhelm him very easily, so he tends to only leave the house for the bare essentials, which is getting his blood from the local butcher. So during those few occasions where he does leave the house, he really likes to dress up, make an impression, even though at the same time he's very introverted and self-conscious and he doesn't want people looking at him. It's more for him. He dresses nice because it makes him feel good. He also cuts his own hair, which you can probably tell it's looking a little bit scraggly, but once again, no reflection. He's trying his best. He can't go to a barber because they'll see his giant pointy ears and be like, what? He also drives a 2003 Honda Jazz. His absolute favorite place to go is the cinema. He has been going since the 1900s. He has absolutely loved seeing the advancements in film, going from the silent films that he started out with to now seeing movies in 3D with a bunch of CGI, and that is right up his alley. And the best part is the cinema is dark and no one looks at you. So he can just chill in the back and he's perfectly fine. I'm gonna go ahead and break the fourth wall a little bit here and say that I recorded the first half of this voiceover like 2 weeks ago, and I've come back to fill in the gaps. I didn't quite have enough audio, but that's not the point. The point is, I mentioned earlier in this voiceover that I was thinking about designing a werewolf character, and at this point in time, I have indeed designed a werewolf character. I won't tell you too much about them in this video because this video is about Dandy, but just to fill you in, our new werewolf friend is named Rudy, and the best way to describe Rudy is the literal sun. From his color palette to his personality, he is just a beam of sunlight, which when you think about it is really good for Dandy because he needs some sunlight in his life and he can't just go out and get it or he'll burn to a crisp. Dandy didn't immediately know that Rudy was a werewolf, and Rudy didn't know that Dandy was a vampire, but when they both found out, it just brought them closer because they're both two supernatural beings trying to make it in the human world. Rudy is also a trans man, so they bond over that too, and they're just all around having a good time together. I really want to make a comic out of these two. My problem always is that I develop characters to the point where I can't condense their story back into a readable comic, but I've been writing my ideas down as I go so that when I do get to the point where I've developed an entire life story for them, I can go back to those little moments that I've been writing down and maybe make a shorter story out of that. But I'm just so obsessed with these two. I have been drawing them non-stop. My Patreons have been seeing this unfold in real time, and I'm sure not long after this video, both Dandy and Rudy will make an appearance on my Instagram, so get ready because you're gonna be seeing a lot of them. I am so obsessed, it is ridiculous. But at the end of the day, it's a really good outcome because when I got this mood board, I thought that I was just making a one-off character that I'd probably never revisit. So I'm glad that I've come out of this with 2 new characters and potentially a new story and the drive to make a comic out of it. So that's pretty good if you ask me. I rewatched one of my favorite vampire movies of all time today, and that is What We Do in the Shadows. And I haven't seen it in so long. I've been seeing a lot of people talking about that pirate one that came out with Taika Waititi in it, and I haven't seen it yet, so don't spoil. I do intend to watch it, but it did inspire me to rewatch What We Do in the Shadows, and I can't help but notice that Dandy is a lot like Taika Waititi's character. So if you've seen What We Do in the Shadows, you know exactly the vibe that I'm going for here. Just awkward, gawky vampire that's nervous beyond belief and just likes to be a little bit flamboyant in his fashion. If you haven't seen What We Do in the Shadows, I would highly recommend it. Like, I am very particular about my vampire movies. I don't like a lot of them, but this one makes me love vampires. I love this movie so much. The line art is finally complete. Don't get me wrong, I have really enjoyed this piece so far. It's not often that I really go all out and add this much detail into an artwork, but it has taken me literal weeks. So hopefully now that I've got all the details down, coloring will be a breeze. I doubt it, but we can live in hope. Hello?
Hi!
I forget how to use Discord every single time.
There's gonna be a little tab, and there's a little box with a triangle, and it's right where the phone hangs up.
Oh gosh.
Here, hold on, I'll show you. Alright, so you're gonna push this button right there.
Oh, there we go.
Honey, you could do it. You excited?
I'm so excited.
I kind of really want to see how yours turned out first before I show mine. Okay, I'm logged into Instagram.
It should be sending. It has sent.
No. Dude. Honey, this is gorgeous. Look at that detail.
This is why it took me literal weeks to get it done, because I was like, I must put as much detail as possible into this.
Oh, he's so gorgeous.
He's a vampire, so he has like a collection of different things from throughout time.
Dude, you like got this spot on. I freaking love it. And you got it all around the night. Oh no. There's a stereo in there.
There is a stereo.
You are amazing with detail, you know that?
Thank you.
Alright, I'm gonna send you the one I made. Are you ready?
I'm excited.
Okay, I'm sending it over now.
Oh my god. That is gorgeous. What the heck? Your colors are freaking phenomenal. I love this so much. You just look at the butterfly. It's got like the sunrise and the flowers.
What you gave me?
This is freaking gorgeous. I'm losing my mind.
I'm so happy you like it.
The detail on this moss. This is amazing. The color variation in like the butterfly's wings, the more I'm like zooming in on this, the more I'm like
This took 43 hours to create.
oh my gosh. You can tell that there was a lot of work put into this. This is so cool.
It was so fun.
That's what I noticed when I was doing mine too. I was like, this is the most fun I've had on a drawing in a long time.
Just this whole challenge was beautiful inside and out, and I'm very grateful I got to enjoy it and do it with you.
I'm so happy that you agreed to do this with me, because like we said before, no one else would, and I'm so happy that you were the one who I got to do it with, because it has honestly been a pleasure working with you, and like I've had so much fun.
Thank you. It's such a pleasure doing it with you. I had a lot of fun as well. But thank you so much for joining me on this collab, and I can't wait till we do another one again.
I would be so excited to do another one. We have to.
Oh, you stay fabulous, dude.
You too.
Alright, lots of love.
See ya. And that is it for today's video. I really hope you enjoyed it. We worked really hard to put it together and it was a lot of fun. So don't forget to check out TITUS Entertainment. I will leave all of her socials down below, as well as the link to her video, so you can check out her character design process, see how that went. And yeah, just go and show her channel some love, because she deserves it. She's freaking amazing. And with that, don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.